I'm Adam Booth, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so Kell Brook, he puts out a couple of social media posts, tags in Conor Benn to let him and everybody else know that they're on the way to the airport and off to Fort Ventura to start training camp. Naturally, people will go, well, he must be fighting Conor Benn then. Now, that would be the natural thing to think. Of course it would. And who knows, maybe that is the case. But it could be a couple of other things. And I was thinking maybe it could be something else. That maybe he's just winding Conor Benn up. Maybe Kell Brook has just got the Chris Eubank Jr. fight. Maybe Kell Brook has just got the Manny Pacquiao fight. It's possible. Okay. Now, when you watch the latest Eddie Hearn interview on IFL, he was speaking about Conor Benn fighting next. Is the Manny Pacquiao fight done and all this kind of stuff? And he was saying, well, the Manny Pacquiao fight is ready to be signed. You know, they can just sign it and get the fight on. But he really wants the Chris Eubank Jr. fight. No mention of Kell Brook. So either Kell Brook is trolling. Maybe Kell Brook thinks he's got the Conor Benn fight but hasn't yet. Or maybe he's got one of the other opponents. Who knows? Who knows? Now, what I will say, though, whoever it is that Conor Benn fights should not be on pay-per-view. You don't reward somebody who's just failed 2 drugs tests with a pay-per-view fight. Now, we know Eddie Hearn is quite desperate to make Conor Benn a pay-per-view fighter. And it shouldn't really be happening in the basis of they've missed Conor Benn's levels, if you like. He didn't go through the British, the Commonwealth, the European and all that kind of stuff. Totally skipped all that level and went, and looks like they're going direct to a pay-per-view after fighting some over-the-hill, past-it kind of guys. That's reality. And the fact that he's failed 2 drug tests and it hasn't been cleared up yet they're still going to try and pursue to make him a pay-per-view star. I don't know what it is with Eddie Hearn. He's got his claws into Conor Benn so much he wants to push him down everybody's throats as a pay-per-view. Does he not? Well, until this PED situation is sorted out, shouldn't be on pay-per-view. But you know it's going to be. You know it's going to be, and ultimately it's up to people whether or not they click that button to watch. Okay? Now, if Kell Brook was to take it, well, is he going to insist on VADA testing? Is Manny Pacquiao going to insist on VADA testing? Is Chris Eubank Jr. going to insist on VADA testing? As the fight looks like it could well be over there in Abu Dhabi. Do they have VADA testing over there? I have no idea. No idea is the honest answer to that one. But all I know is that Conor Benn needs to clear up his home street first. While there's a cloud over you, and to be honest with you, going on to that Piers Morgan show, I think made things worse. I was starting to think, well, maybe Conor Benn might be innocent, as in didn't intentionally do something. Okay, 2 tests, that's a little bit hard to word out. But when he went to Piers Morgan, he says, listen, whether you believe that I'm innocent or guilty, just remember, I'm innocent. What? Oh, okay then. Right. Forget it, everyone. Forget all the investigations. Forget all the this, that and the other. Remember, Conor Benn's innocent. That's the only thing. I mean, at least do something. At least prove it. I mean, how do you at least have just went on to that WBC thing when they said it's contamination of eggs? I mean, had you have accepted that? You know, we would have had to have accepted it, whether people believe it or not. We would have had to have done. Okay? But even Conor Benn hasn't accepted it. And he says, I don't say anything about eggs. I don't accept that it's eggs. Now, we know probably why he's said that. It's because if he accepts that it is eggs, then under the British Boxing Border Control rules and UCAD, well, you take something, i.e. food, drink, intentionally or unintentionally, it's your fault. You are responsible for what happens in your body. Ban. So, for me, Conor Benn should not be fighting. Globally, should not be. And shame on those over at Abu Dhabi for sanctioning him to fight. As I said, I'm not saying that he's guilty. I'm not saying that, okay? Just to clarify, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he's done something intentional or not. Some of you will say that, but I'm certainly not, because I'm still hoping and grabbing onto that last bit of hopefully he's innocent, right? Listen, I've been a fan of his for a long time, so it's not nice to see somebody who you like, who you support, go through that. And if it turns out they're guilty, they're guilty. But clear it up first. Clear up your front doorstep first. Very simple. If you don't, then you shouldn't be fighting. Simple as that. Anyway, let's see if it's going to be Kell Brook or not. But if it isn't, then who's Kell Brook going over to Fort Ventura to start camp for? And why is he copying in Conor Benn? Is he just winding him up? Maybe. Drop your thoughts below. Click on the subscribe. Catch you next video.